Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. For today's video we will be going through a unboxing of the fourth angel from the Evangelion Nanoblock crossover, and this was released by Kawada sometime around 2019. It's from what I can gather now that I'm getting into a habit of trying to fact check my release years. So here we have the fourth angel. Now this is per the rebuild of Evangelion line. If I remember correctly, in the original TV series, this particular angel was actually the third angel. I still get confused why they changed the angel numbering, but Evangelion is not exactly clear-cut these days, is it? That can be another video in its entire glory another time. So, fourth angel, Nanoblock. What do we have? It's interesting in the sense that this actually is in a actual box with the clear window, in fact. If you've seen some of my previous Nanoblock unboxings, the box style they use for that is definitely not this type of box style, and that's assuming they're using a box and not the packet, so a bit of a variation there. Now I do know that there's some other Evangelion Nanoblocks, but I'll get to those another time. So looking at the different style of box, so once again, front of the box with a clear window to actually give you the completed fourth angel look from the nano perspective, and ever so behind it, just some black and white art, more akin to its animation style. Looking at this side of the box, nothing too much of great interest, but the piece count, so 280 pieces, so I do expect there'll be some spare pieces left, and tucked away in the window is a 3 out of 5 for the level build. So it's, in terms of level, it's not too different from some other ones I've done recently. I feel, I wish I double checked, I can't remember now. I think Articuno might have been a 3 out of 5 as well as the Plum Bonsai I did, I think might have been 3 out of 5, so it won't be too difficult. It'll be interesting to see how this goes, because I can imagine the arms are all going to be a single piece. And there's also a bit of madness as to why I'm doing this set now rather than later. If you've seen some of my updates on Instagram about Mew and Mewtwo and a few other Nanoblock kits, well, I'll cover that another time. Hopefully it's a non-issue, I hope. Other side of the box, so front view, back view, display view. So it's actually quite clever of using the box itself as a display box, which actually isn't too bad for some of these nanos. It can be quite delicate. Back of the box, nothing too interesting. Yes, that price is in Japanese yen. I didn't buy it at the time because I was still here in Australia. So my folks had gone overseas to Japan. It might have been 2018, I think, because I think I went up in 2019. But yes, this was a little souvenir of their trip. Interesting enough, there's actually some instructions on how to do the actual display, so it looks like there might be some things inside. We'll see in a minute, I'm sure. So when this was purchased, it was 1800 yen, which my yen conversion is actually pretty bad these days, but I think 2000 yen is about 20-25 Australian. Please do not quote me. So it's relatively on par. I definitely wouldn't consider it expensive. Maybe in the comments I'll actually double check what 1800 yen is back in Australia. Anyway, so that's alright. That's the top of the box. And the bottom, the little box. Now, I actually tried a dry run of this earlier. It's interesting to see if I can actually do this on the camera. Because it's the actual display box, it actually is a bit sturdy. In fact, I actually was able to do it. Okay, so before we get back to that, so there's a bag of bags and the instructions once I put it back in view. I am going to assume there's probably about 4 bags in there. We'll find out in a second. And once again, I did not prepare myself to be opening a plastic bag. Now, I'm curious about this. Okay, so empty box. So that's the empty box window display card box. Oh, but there you go. There's a nice little internal backing of the very rough animation style of the 4th angel, and then that would have been what we saw through the windows. So I would imagine instead of putting it back this way through the window, it'll do that instead. However, that is not what we're here for. That can be part of the review. So I'll put you aside for the time being. Okay, let's do that. You can kind of look pretty in the corner. Okay. Can I open this with my bare hands? I'm going to assume yes, if I get the right spot. I'll just do this off camera. Okay, so we have one instruction booklet, one plastic base included. So 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, 5 bags of Nanoblocks. So this, I believe, to date anyway, it's probably I don't want to say complex, it's not really complex, but it's the most baggies I've had in a Nanoblock build. So what I will do is, once again, all sorts of off-screen puppetry. Yeah, that'll do. So looking at these, so that's nice that it actually includes a base. For anyone who's ever built Nanoblocks, you can probably attest that without an actual base, sometimes they don't feel super sturdy. For the most part, they usually are, but bases like this aren't always included, so it's actually a nice change of pace to see one of those included. So looking at this particular bag, so black and grey, pretty much your larger block pieces. More grey, more black, and white. So your single rows of blocks, your 1x4s, 1x3s, 1x1s. No 2s in there though. Black and grey yet again. That's a piece I've never seen before thus far, so I know I've seen it in the Lego world, but first time in the Nano world, so a bit of your combinations of 2x2s, 1x3s, and obviously there's equivalent to 1x2s but with the single head. So that was bag number 3. Bag number 4 is more of your 1x2s and your smaller bits, once again black and grey. There's some 1x1s, but instead of having the square base, although it looks like there's... Is there some in there, or am I imagining things? Probably helps if I have this in front of the camera. No, I was imagining things, but some of these 1x1s are actually on a circular base and not the square one. Here's bag number 4. Bag number 5. Black and grey yet again, but we also have some white and some red in various corner pieces and things like that. So that's actually not too bad for 5 baggies worth of blocks as well as a plate. Looking at the instructions, and once again I am doing awesomely on off-screen puppetry. So this actually may earn its 3 out of 5 level. So like with all Nanoblock instructions, it's top to bottom, left to right. It's interesting because I've obviously built, I don't want to say a fair few, but I've built a few nano sets in the last few weeks, and it's interesting when, or at least, yeah, I guess when was the actual change in the instructions where, so for using the 4th Angel as an example, it just shows you the relevant bricks and then naturally shades out the previous levels as you go through. Some of the other instructions actually tell you the specific blocks and how many you need. So where the top bit gives you the, I'm going to assume the total number used, not so much the total number included. Each of the instructions would actually say, you know, for this one you would have 2 of these 2x4s, 1 of the 2x2, 1 of the 2x3, etc. But anyway, once again, that's still not difficult instructions. It's just sometimes I find it's just nicer in terms of the sorting everything out. Now, for anyone who is observant, have probably realized at the bottom of the right corner it doesn't say finished, which is different because the assembly instructions spill over to the back. So the very first time I've actually seen a instruction booklet, well, page, do back and front for the actual instructions. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a very interesting build. For some reason I quite find this step a little bit humorous. I don't know why, but obviously this is where the plate comes in handy. And there's the finished 4th Angel. Definitely quite nice. Doing its visual appearance before it grew its second head. Okay, so there we have it. You're not terribly in view, but that's okay. So there you go. There is the contents of the 4th Angel Evangelion Nanoblock set. 5 bags, the base and the instructions, and the built-in display. Be interesting to see how you actually ground the plate. I think I did see something in the actual base of the display that might help. But that's for later down the track. Once again, there's a little bit of purpose to the madness of why I am hoping to do this build soon. So like Mewtwo and Mew and a few other nano sets that were on display, the Fourth Angel and some of my own other Nanoblock backlog, whilst not built, were also in the same display box, I guess is probably the best way of describing it. It wasn't a cabinet, so I'll stick with box. Now, having rebuilt for Pokemon since, I do know unfortunately the plastic became quite brittle and they've not held their form as well as before they were heat exposed. So I'm hoping with the kits, well, sets that were in the same display but not built, that because there was nothing binding the blocks together, they shouldn't be brittle. I mean, it's hard to really, this doesn't actually feel brittle, but at the same time it's also a plastic base, so remains to be seen. So with a bit of luck, the unbuilt sets were not impacted, because there would have been, so there's the Fourth Angel, a Unit 2 and a Unit 1 of this particular, in my hands of the way, this particular series, a larger version of Unit 1 that would have been released years ago, and I think I had 2 landmark sets in there as well, so that would have been 6 unbuilt sets in total that, as I said, I hope weren't impacted, even though they were still in their boxes on that particular day. So find out in a few days, I would imagine, and we'll take it from there. Anyway, that's been a long enough unboxing for something so small. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me partly ramble. Feel free to leave a comment down below and a like if you enjoyed today's content. And if you so wish to, yes, you can tell me that I ramble. Subscribe if you wish to follow my channel and stay up to date with upcoming releases. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, and a link to that will be found in the description below. Once again, thank you for your support to help grow this channel. Please stay safe and take care, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.